in order to help others by means of the tawajjuh.
Yeah, we read about that last week. That's the glance, the manuscript.
Oh yeah. The saint has only to think of the person he wishes to advance on or initiate into the path. And such persons become advanced or initiated at once, whether they be near or far. Needless to say, the saint can advance anyone first up to any plane
From the first to the sixth.
Yeah. According to the pilgrim's preparedness, longing, and connections with him in past lives, of which the saint is fully conscious.
I wonder what plane you have to be on to be fully conscious of past lives. This is sixth. I don't remember about it or said which plane.
No, he did mention the mental sphere, I think. Sure.
Yeah. As he does here.
I get the impression that you can kind of see the impressions of others on the fifth. Oh, but yeah, seeing past lives or something like that.
Yeah.
The highest of the three spheres, the mental sphere, is dependent on God. But God is absolutely independent of the mental sphere. Ghani! Where are you, Duncan?
You're channeling Duncan, huh?
Yeah.
He is too.
The six minor fathers, Bakas, the gross, subtle, and the mental spheres, the soul's experiences in these spheres, the states of the rough drafts. It's a new one.
It's a wayfarer. I think actually Donkin's book, The Wayfarer, I think that's a translation of Rafa.
Wallies and peers. All these are in the domain of duality, imperfection, and imagination, and pertain to the inshan, insan, and jivatman state. It is only when the soul becomes unconscious of the gross, subtle, and mental spheres and attains the final fana, the complete and permanent annihilation of the lower self, that it becomes one with God, who is the only truth and the only reality in existence. Ghani, here you talk of the soul transcending the mental sphere, but surely the soul is always one with God and never transcends anything. Perhaps consciousness is the right word, but soul seems to be definitely wrong. Please check the use of this word in other parts of the book also. Ghani, in this last sentence you said that when the soul attains the final fana, it is ready and free to become one with God. But surely, in the final fana, it is one with God. The difference between what you wrote and what I changed it to be is very drastic. Please check. Is he right?
Well, that part does sound right. Final fana is one with God.
So if we, on the second plane or whatever it is, become unaware of the gross and that sort of plane, how do we actually, we're still in the body, how do we actually negotiate ourselves around the planet?
Well, I think it takes care of itself.
Maybe, yeah.
It's like when you're sound asleep, you breathe.
So it becomes more an autonomic sort of situation.
The gross is a shadow of the subtle.
Mm.
So if you're handling things on the subtle, the shadows are going to act accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I think you're just it's absorbed and you don't even think about it. Your body just sort of.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if you've driven a certain drive 1,000 times, you
Yeah.
just do it and don't even think about it. You're not
Yeah.
even conscious of it hardly.
Yeah. Or if you focus on something, you're usually more focused on that, and the periphery sort of drops off, doesn't it? Yeah.
So the final annihilation leads to the great affirmation.
Oh, I see. That is a point, yeah.
But is it? Are you one with God when you're annihilated, or when you
The fun of Theala, where you actually have the I am God experience. Actually, you don't experience being one with God, the final fun. Yeah, so strictly speaking, Ghani would be right. Duncan might not have known that. That might be a point Baba had explained to Ghani, that not Duncan.
Therefore, evolution from the stone to the human form, all the incarnations in the human form, and all experiences in the gross, subtle and mental spheres are but different media for the soul to realize its original, infinite existence. Ghani. You need only 4 adjectives here. Also, Ghani, why bring the electron in here?
Oops. What happened? I have it here.
You must have it.
Okay.
Why not the neutron, or the atom, or the molecule? Why not stick to the divine theme scheme I mentioned the stone?
You know, Bob, in these early stuff in the 20s, it does use electron all the time. Because stone is just kind of a shorthand.
Yeah, for a primal particle.
Yeah.
Hafiz remembers the 6th plane in the following words. Madapya akse rukeya didyana. We have seen the face of the beloved reflected in the cup of our heart. O ignorant one, no,
No, what is that?
no nothing. Something
No
only-
notion? No notion have you.
No notion have you of the bliss that we eternally imbibe therefrom.
It's only just part of a page, that one, is it?
Yeah, just quoting couplets.
Right.
Oh, the 7th plane.
Oh, we've hit the... Finally, we've done it.
Nababa says, referring to the 7th plane, the step from duality to non-duality is, however, a matter of difference in degree. And as the two are qualitatively different, the difference between them is infinite.
I think there's a mistake there. It should be, is not a difference in degree. I remember this quote from
All
somewhere.
right. It's a matter of difference. Oh, so of course it's qualitative, not... well, let's just try that again. The step from duality to non-duality is, however, a matter of difference in degree.
I think there should be a not there.
Yeah. And as the two are qualitatively different, the difference between them is infinite. So if it's the difference is infinite,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a
Difference of degree.
Yeah. That's interesting. The former is the not God state, and the latter is the God state. This infinite difference constitutes the abyss, is it, between
Yeah.
the sixth plane of consciousness and the seventh plane of consciousness. All the lower six planes of consciousness are also separated from each other by a kind of valley or distance. But though the difference between them is great, that's interesting, it is not infinite, because they are all subject to the bipolarity of limited experience, consisting in the
Alternation,
alternation, yes, between the opposites. The difference between the first plane and the second and the third, and so on, up to the sixth plane, is great, but not infinite. It follows that, strictly speaking, none of the six planes of duality can be said to be really nearer to the seventh plane than any other. You know, Francis had that song that he used to quote, "There ain't no promotion this side of the ocean."
Oh.
So cheer up, my lads, bless them all. It's a wartime song about, you know, unless you cross the ocean
I
and
see.
start fighting in Europe or whatever, you don't get a promotion.
Oh.
He was saying that, you know, all the monks who haven't crossed the ocean completely, are all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Even sixth plane, you get nothing.
I see.
You don't get a promotion.
Was that a wartime song?
Yeah. And he used to quote that as a
In a spiritual sense.
yeah.
Oh, wow. I never heard that before.
Bless them all, the long and the short and the tall.
Yeah.
There ain't no promotion this side of the ocean. So cheer up, my lads, bless them.
Oh. That's a rather clever interpretation.
Yeah, really. It is.
The difference between any of the six planes. Do we read that? And the seventh is infinite,
Yeah.
just in the same way as the difference between the sixth and the seventh plane is infinite.
Is in. What's this one? Imagine.
Oh. Progress through the six planes is a progress in imagination.
Yeah. But the realization of the seventh plane is cessation of imagination and is the awakening of the individual into truth consciousness. Yeah. It is impossible to sort completely the idea of the false I that persists in the sixth plane.
To root up.
To root up, yeah. Uproot, maybe it's uproot.
Uproot.
Sixth plane, and thus it is impossible to achieve the seventh and final fana unaided by a master. One out of millions can independently succeed in attaining
initiation
into the path. One out of millions of such initiates may transcend unaided to the stumbling block of the fourth plane, and one out of millions who transcend the fourth plane can reach the unique position of peer, Sat Purusha, in the sixth plane by his individual efforts, but none, while in the physical body, can enter the seventh plane. The plane therein, wherein lie both the final fana and the real bhaka, the goals of the first and second journeys, without the help of a perfect master. must be remembered that not only the goal of the first journey, but also the process of the egoless consciousness reaching the real self, the goal of the second journey is on the seventh plane.
I wonder how he's construing the second journey.
The father of the seventh plane, whereas the six lower planes, in the six lower planes the pilgrim used as a matter of course to get relative experiences and minor annihilations as he advanced, but he is now faced with true annihilation. It is as if he was standing on the summit of a high mountain, so that all the objects on the plain appear small and far away. In the same way, the pilgrim who reaches the final fana of the seventh plane finds himself beyond duality and absolutely removed from all the phenomena of the universe, Maya. And the truth which he has now become is experienced as being beyond all dual phenomena of mind and matter. It should be understood that at the moment of being merged into the seventh plane, all links with body, mind and universe are necessarily snapped. In ordinary gross existence, there is no parallel to this snapping of these long, enduring, vital connections that bind the individual to the mind and to the universe. Physical death, that kind of disconnects the body from life, is by comparison an insignificant thing. About as significant
Something
as the mere snapping of a piece of string. At the instant of ordinary death, the subtle body and life are separated from the gross body completely, but the mind maintains the connection with the gross body from the first 5 days after death, and to a slighter degree, for 7 days more after that.
Is this all still Baba's quote? Is Baba talking?
No, that quote ended, but I think this is quite from Baba. Yeah, now this point, I read this last week, or about how the subtle body breaks its link with the gross body at death, but the mind keeps a connection for a few days.
Oh, with the body.
It's the mind that keeps that.
Oh, okay. No, that is it.
That makes sense in
It's
a
a
way.
new thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So your mind hovers around, but you can't, the link between the mind and the gross body, the subtle body, all the
Yeah,
connections there are gone.
yeah. So that's that sense of vitality and
Yeah.
emotion and whatnot.
Yeah.
In the final annihilation, however, the separation is not between body and mind. It is the actual annihilation of mind. And
Nukushi Amal, that's the sanskaras. That's the Islamic word
oh yeah,
it gives for sanskaras.
the pilgrim, therefore, on experiencing the final fana, experiences a sort of spiritual vacuum. The consciousness of nothingness. This vacuum, consciousness of nothingness, is always immediately followed by the consciousness of I am God. In Vedanta, the consciousness of nothingness, the spiritual vacuum, is
Known as
it's
nirvana.
known as nirvana. And the consciousness of I am God state is called nirvana kalpa, samadhi. The The pilgrim here is known to the Sufis as Mazum, and to the Vedantists as Brahma Bahut, or Brahmi Bahut.
Yeah.
The Baka of the seventh plane. The fauna of the seventh plane is the real death, after which there can be no more death. It is followed inevitably by the eternal, changeless, superconscious life of I am God. The self is now identified with God, and the real I is manifested. When this state is attained, the first journey is completed. The soul now is entirely disassociated from the mental, subtle, and gross bodies, though these bodies still exist for those who are still in the gross sphere. Ooh, sure about that. And from the whole universe. So what's that piece in brackets? It doesn't make sense.
Though those bodies still exist for those who are still in the gross.
Oh, the other for people who see them.
Yeah. Everybody else can see a Maju, but the Maju
Doesn't
is
experience
oblivious.
that, yeah. The realization of Baka must and does take place only in the midst of life, for it is only in the midst of life that limitation can be experienced and overcome and transcended, and the subsequent freedom from limitation enjoyed. Those who realize after death realize the state of fana. Oh. Does that mean they don't get the affirmation?
Well, I probably means the complete fana, including fanafilla, I suppose. I know it says in God Speaks that if you die in the nirvana state without having gone on to nirvikalpa samadhi, after death you get mukti, which means bliss only, not the knowledge, power, bliss thing.
So there's some schools of thought which, in the Baba world, presumably for the Baba, that suggest that most people only get mukti. So, do you understand?
Yeah, I've heard that too. I don't know.
So they'd be sitting up there in bliss, but they wouldn't know it.
That's right, you just bliss out.
Right. What bliss is bliss that you don't know?
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
So if you go under the veil, are you going through all this process exactly the same
If you
way?
go into
Well, I think
Baba
Bob,
says
you said
under
that,
the-
yes, you've got to pass through
the
all
veil, yeah.
planes and darkness.
And are you aware as much as...
No. Oh, well, you just
He takes you through them like in a flash. You do go through them,
Okay.
but you get whisked.
right, held back and then whisked.
You're held back and whisked. So I think he's described it as though you just you're up there. You zoom.
And then you're in bliss.
But
But I don't know what you're in at that point. It might be knowledge, power, bliss. I think if you get it when you're in the body, you get knowledge, power, bliss.
Right.
I think the bliss only is if you. This is what the supplement to God Speaks seems to indicate: is that if you die in nirvana without having achieved nirvikalpa samadhi.
Yeah, there seems to be some confusion around all
I know there is.
and is that preordained? Like I thought.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I mean, to some people, it seems like a jip. You do the whole journey and you get only one for
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Huh?
I said, I'm one of those
You're one
people.
of them.
If you're going to go through all the thing, you might as well get the whole lot and be done with it,
Yeah.
you know?
Not even asking for Baka Villa
Yeah.
creation consciousness,
Yeah.
just the full knowledge, power, bliss thing.
Yeah. When Baba asked Francis whether he wanted to go under the veil, and Francis says, no, I'll make my own way sort of thing. That gave me sort of courage to say, well, I'll do what Francis is doing.
So he said that. He said he wanted.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it's quoted. Yeah,
And Baba wasn't fast. He said, that's fine.
Well, I was just reading in Baba's talks to the boys where he says, if you're with a master, I think he said, he takes you right up to the fourth plane without you doing the first three. And most people traveling without a master in the first three planes, after death, go back and have to do it over in their next lifetime.
Right.
But I mean, I think you do it faster than you did it the first time, but
Yeah.
you've got to recapitulate your progress.
But Mummy said we don't go back. We pick up from where we were.
yeah, it's always moving on. What consciousness once gained, Baba said, never
Yeah.
lost. But it doesn't mean that you don't reiterate, because
Yeah.
ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny, that notion. That,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philip, you go through the whole stages of human development every time you get
Oh
reborn.
yes, oh yes, I knew
So you
that.
might reiterate, but
You have
at
to
a certain age you get back to where you were.
Yeah.
It just takes you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said that if you're traveling the planes with a master, he's talking about somebody traveling the planes,
Yeah.
you get reborn in the plane. You don't have to go back up there.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're traveling with a master, then he said somewhere that you go right to the fourth plane, I think. And when you die in the fourth plane, you get reborn there. You don't fall. And then you do the fifth, sixth, and seventh all in one lifetime.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm.
Okay.
It's speedy progress.
Yeah.
Now there's a difference also between the salik and the, what do you call that?
Must, yeah.
Well,
Right.
well in Sufism they have the ecstatics and the saliks, and I forgot the
Oh, I don't remember, yeah.
Yeah, like
What do they call that?
Bayazid was the ecstatic school. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Baba somewhere described the salik's journey as being more like writing a difficult essay. You just get glimpses of the worlds.
Huh.
Yeah.
I see.
You don't sort of get the full-on acid trip experience.
I see.
Mm.
I see.
So
Huh.
it says that somewhere. Anyway, in the discourse.
So the ones that actually caught up in the God intoxication, would they be mostly on the second, third planes, or can you get caught up in that sort of stuff in the fifth or sixth plane?
All the way. All the way.
Right.
In fact, when you get to the sixth plane, everybody has to go through the must track.
Right.
Yeah, nobody is sober on the sixth
on
plane.
the
Yeah.
sixth plane.
Yeah, I guess that's got something to do with the actual fact that you can see the God.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, there must, some people must put on a fairly good show of a period to be sober.
Yeah.
I asked Eruch once what it was like on the fifth plane. Sixth plane. Sixth plane.
Yeah.
He seemed to be answering me from personal experience.
What did he say?
He said, oh, you've got no idea. It's like having the flesh ripped off your body at every moment.
Oh,
That sounds painful.
That's right.
Wow.
I don't know whether he's just trying to scare me.
Too late to be scared now.
Answer.
it sounds like Nirvana, doesn't it?
Well, I didn't have, there wasn't a crowd of people.
Yeah. You would
Right.
answer that kind of question for real sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still come back for more, don't we?
Right. But that's it, I have to try.
That's intoxication.
Once you're in the net, that's it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get away, are you?
No, not until you get out the other side. It would be
Quite pertinent.
pertinent to explain here that pilgrims in and up to the fifth plane Fana or minor Baka have to recapitulate, is it?
Reincarnate.
Reincarnate till they achieve the goal of the first journey, God realization. There is, however, this peculiarity in the case of pilgrims of the sixth plane. One Mazud-like pilgrim of the sixth plane who is experiencing the minor Fana of that plane has got to reincarnate again, while one on the sixth plane who is enjoying the minor Baka of that plane automatically enters the seventh plane after this embodiment and experiences the state of the final Fana.
Well, that's interesting. That I didn't know. I was just reading in these talks with the boys where Baba says someone on the sixth plane knows that after death he's going to realize God. Whereas it sounds like those in the Fana of that sixth plane don't. They have to reincarnate. He also says that what does he say exactly? That there's something where they could go into the seventh plane. They have an opportunity to do that, but they don't want to.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a bit like the Bodhisattva
Ideal.
Eruch talked about that,
Yeah.
about just wanting to come back and back to serve
Yeah.
the Lord for that experience.
Yeah.
That best of relationships.
Yeah.
But that he said that it's like a ripe fruit, which eventually, he said, unfortunately, eventually just drops off.
Of in its own. Just,
Yeah. It's because it's too ripe.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So
So
the
it sort of suggested multiple lives on the sixth plane.
yeah. Well, here we hear of two anyway. Somebody who's in the Fana has to get reborn. Huh.
Such a realization after death is known to Vedanta as mukti, or something other mukti.
Such is known to
Something other kutubi.
Vide mukti.
Yeah.
And that's a term in God Speaks. Vide actually means without body. De is body and vid is without.
And what's the other one, kutubi?
Najat e kutubi.
Najat.
Huh. For different types of mukti, see chapter 8 in the God Realization page. Yeah, I just read that. It does have it. Oops. Is that the end of it? I guess it is. Did that give us everything? There are these different versions, you know.
That book must have been the original handwritten.
Hmm.
It's pretty full.
It was. Did we read this? Is this there? What we just read? The different types?
Different types of mukti.
I wonder, maybe the version we had didn't give us everything. Did we read this?
Well, mukti is what we were just being a little bit scornful
Okay,
of,
yeah.
isn't it? But maybe there's different types of that.
Ordinary grow, there's no parallel. We read this. Well, I don't know if we read this. This is in God Speaks in the supplement.
Oh, okay. Different types of liberation. Ordinary mukti. Is that the
Ordinary,
ordinary mukti.
ordinary mukti.
Yeah. And then there's
Vida.
Vida mukti. Jivan mukta. Oh, these are mukti. all the four types of liberation mukti of the soul belong to the seventh plane of God realization, but their different and significant characteristics must be carefully noted. Ordinary mukti, or najat.
I've never heard of Najat before.
Well, that was that najat kutubi.
We just,
Kutubi.
yeah, we had that just a page ago.
Is achieved by only after death, and this mukti comes about 3 or 4 days after the soul has left the body.
Yeah, no, this is right in God Speaks. I think this is where Ivy took it.
Since this type of mukti is attained without the body, the individual soul enjoys only bliss. And although power and knowledge are there, such a mukti is indifferent towards them. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, I hadn't
there's
heard
an
that
answer.
before.
They're there, but they, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't worry about it.
Easy.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Such a liberated soul is conscious only of the bliss of union, and for him, creation no longer exists, thereby bringing to an end the constant round of births and deaths. 2. Some God-realized souls retain the body for a time. Their consciousness is merged completely in the unmanifest aspect of God, and they are not therefore conscious of their bodies or of the creation. They experience constantly the infinite bliss, power, and knowledge of God, but they cannot consciously use them in creation or help others to attain liberation. So you need a body for this.
Yeah,
So,
you got to get it in the body.
yeah.
I think after you die, you still have it, I would presume. It's not body dependent. I don't know, Richard, will this make the cut for you? You don't use it, you don't get to use it, and you don't experience creation, but you've got knowledge, power, bliss. You're 3 for 3 so far as the...
Well, I'd rather come back to the perfect master and do a little bit here and there, but if I can't, well, let's just do that.
There's a number 3 is an option.
Yeah, yes.
We'll get to that. Nevertheless, their presence on earth is a focal point for the infinite power, knowledge, and bliss of God, and those who approach them, serve them, and worship them are spiritually benefited. These souls are called mazubs by the Sufis, and the particular type of liberation they enjoy is called vida mukti, or liberation with the body.
I thought it was without the body. That's what we do.
Well, you have to have the body to get it.
Yeah. But I thought that vida etymologically meant...
Vida means
Yeah, I thought
without the
so.
body.
And I always thought that was rather odd,
Yeah.
because it applies to people who have to have it.
Yeah.
I should look that up
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Vida mukti is one who has attained fana of the seventh plane, but who gives up the body after 3 or 4 days of realization. Oh, well, here we go. So that must mean that that's where the meaning of it comes in.
Okay,
Gives it up after
Yeah,
3 or
yeah.
4 days.
and isn't conscious of it anyway.
Here, the individual, having had realization, the fana of the seventh plane, while in the body, automatically enjoys automatically after disembodiment the 3 koshas.
You're calling them
Ananda
koshas.
kosha, Dhyana kosha, Satya kosha.
Now this is an odd thing. This is one of the puzzles that Balna 2 talked about. We have Anand, Gyan, and Sat, right?
Yeah.
It's a variation on Sat, Chit, and Anand.
Yes.
But Sat does not mean power. And yet Sat may kosh, and he translates it all power. But Sat doesn't mean power, it means existence or truth.
Yeah.
And Satchitanand is not knowledge, power, bliss.
Yeah.
It's existence, consciousness, bliss.
Yeah.
But 2 or 3 times when God speaks, it's translated as
Yes.
knowledge, power, bliss.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems to substitute for power for something.
For existence, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bala too thought that, he didn't mention his, but he said some of those involved in this work were Muslims, not Vedantists. And
Yes,
so,
yes.
but still, anybody in India would have to know that Sat means existence.
Yeah.
It's a basic word.
Yeah, it's not like it came along later. It's been there for quite some time.
What's omnipotent? That's sort of all-pervading power.
Yeah,
It's not that. It's sort of
yeah,
all-pervading existence.
yeah. Sat comes from the Sanskrit verb astitva, which means to be. It's the verb of being.
Yeah.
I had big fights over this with Tian.
Right.
Promoting knowledge.
What does she
point.
say?
She says Satchitanand means knowledge, power, bliss, and I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, simple, isn't it?
Fair enough. Can't argue with that too much, can you?
You're both right in your own mind, that's...
No, we definitely have duked it out.
Yeah.
She gets very angry when you dare to disagree. So if you tell her about this, she'll gloat. Here you have Sat me kush, all power. See?
Yeah.
Sat means power.
Where was she getting her information from?
Same places as we all do.
Yeah, she's just looking at the translation.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
There it is.
We can little picture of a smiling Tian here.
And Vida Mukta, as said before, enjoys power, knowledge and bliss. The Masu, after God realization, continues to be in body for a certain period, but having no consciousness of bodily existence, he too, like the Vida Mukta, enjoys consciously the 3 koshas and has individuality.
Koshas. Koshas. All right. Okay, here's option 3, Richard.
Yeah,
Let's see if this makes it.
So Francis mentions those various sheaths in that.
Yeah,
I think there's another one that he mentions. It's the 4th one, isn't
there are 5
Five.
sheets.
Oh,
and
5
this
sheets,
is
yeah.
for
it?
ordinary people.
Yeah.
And that's Vedanta.
Yes.
The 5 sheets subtract, Atman remains.
So only 3 of them are mentioned here.
But there are different 3. There
They're
are different 5.
Ah.
These are the real ones, but those are the false ones. Anamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manamaya kosha, that's mind. Vijnanamaya kosha is vidyan, which is another aspect of mind. And then there's anandamaya kosha,
That's the-
which is not the bliss of God realization. It's an inner sheath in
Oh,
Vedanta.
right.
Which
It
is
has to be
different from-
subtracted, yeah. So it's associated with the body.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
the
it is.
sheaths, the bodies, so to speak, have to get subtracted and then you get I am God's state.
The Jiva Mukta, Azad Mutlak, in Turiya Avesta. In Turiya Avesta, it's Fak Bad Ujam. Enjoys the 3 koshas, that is,
All bliss, all knowledge, all power.
and is conscious of his bodily presence and of the 3 world spheres, gross, subtle and mental, but being without duty, he does not use knowledge, power, bliss.
That'll be all right.
So you have all knowledge, power, bliss, you experience everything, you
Yep.
know everything.
Yep.
and you just can watch it.
Yes, that'll be a good position.
Did you ever see that movie Being There with Peter Sellers,
Yeah.
Chauncey Gardner?
No, I didn't see that one.
His statement is, "I like to watch."
Yes,
So he would be a good Jivan
Yes.
Mukta.
But actually, you'd only actually be watching yourself,
Yeah,
yeah,
looking at your own individuality.
Yeah,
because
you would.
There's no creation to watch. So
yeah,
there's no duality to.
mm.
yeah,
There's no play.
yeah,
Really.
yeah. But you see it all. You see everything.
Mm.
You're conscious of all that's happening in the world. You do see that.
Mm.
You just know it as yourself.
Isn't in that state if people come in contact with you in one way or another, they can get realization?
Yeah, actually, the Jivan Mukta does give realization to one person.
Yeah,
Yeah. But you don't have duty.
no.
No.
And you've
You have
helped,
a job.
but you've helped one person, that's fine. That's one less that they have to worry about.
Yeah, we'll do that much.
Yeah, why not?
More than that, you have to say, the Sadguru's that way. Go to him.
Four, the Param Mukta, who is known as the Kutu, or Sadguru, comes back to normal consciousness after God realization and is fully conscious of the three bodies and the corresponding spheres. He not only enjoys the koshas, but uses them in all the planes of existence through his universal mind and universal body. Such God-realized souls are conscious of themselves as God both in his unmanifest and manifest aspects. They know themselves equally as the unchangeable divine essence and as the infinitely varied manifestations.
Look at that, we have Zat and Sifat. Zat is what we were talking about this morning. Dat is another spelling, the essence.
They experience themselves as God apart from creation, as God the creator, preserver, and destroyer, and as God who has accepted and transcended the limitations of creation. They experience something or other. What is it?
And use.
And use constantly the absolute peace and perfection of the enjoyment of the three koshas.
The peace. Huh, here's a new one.
Mm.
Yeah. They enjoy to the full the divine sport of creation. They know themselves as God in everything and are therefore able to help everyone spiritually. And something or other,
Able.
to make other souls realize God, either as muktas, mazubs, or sadgurus. They are undoubtedly the saviors of humanity.
So there's option number 4, Richard.
Mm.
That sounds
Looking good.
doesn't it?
Well,
Kim, which one are you going to go for?
we can do
I like
options.
this last one.
You're like number 4.
We can do option 3, beam me up Scotty and come back with option 4.
Well, you got to do it all in one lifetime, man.
Oh, okay.
You don't get another round. You got to.
Well, you can have an extended lifetime too, like the normal 80 years wouldn't actually apply.
That's it.
You could have a couple hundred years at it, couldn't you?
I think you
Technically.
just got a regular old lifetime, and then you're out.
Oh, right. Okay.
You got to grab these. You got to make your choice, man. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You don't get any preferential treatment at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Gee, I
just
don't
say,
know.
I'll go with what Barbara wants for me, that's it.
You'll let him pick.
Yeah.
Probably a wise choice.
You could become one of Tolkien's elves, and you get to live a lot longer.
Yeah, that's right. You got to.
And if you're a perfect master as well.
Yeah, perfect master elf.
Yeah,
You get to be around for thousands of years.
yeah.
But what if you got a crappy circle?
Yeah.
And then, you know, you're
Yeah.
living on and on and on, and you're not creating space for them to move up. You start to bitch about it.
Yeah. We need a really good war.
A good war is you can get killed.
Is that all there is to this?
That chapter.